thank God for joy. Because if nothing else, John Elder Mims taught me the value of living your life. Work hard, play harder. I try to be his namesake every day in that regard. And as my friends began to just support me, and as the therapy went on, and the emotional eating stopped, and I stopped being in so much pain, and I started losing weight. I think I've lost like 130, still have like 80 more to go, but there's a certain amount of weight where the pain just stopped being so much. Then I could start thinking and things of that nature, and I began to find joy. The impact on my job is still the same, but I have made a point to go ahead and go out. And for people who know me, one of my friends here is Ray. We just got through with Beyonce last week. And I'd never been to a large scale concert before, never been to Soldier Field, and just have had some amazing experiences. Sister who I sit next to at church is there and knows that that's my release. So as I become more balanced, I still have my issues with my job, but they're tempered down because as my life becomes whole, it's not so much meaning, it's not as much trauma with my job. So I still balance them.
Thank you very much for the thorough response. So someone else wants to know, how do you define resiliency, and when is it okay to surrender?
Sounds like a question prepared. I think one of the biggest things for me is hard to take compliments. Hopefully she's still talking about this. When I thought about joy, I'm sorry, when I thought about joy, and I selected this chapter, I was telling Elle about when I passed the bar.
Oh, you were not telling me about that, I told you.
No, I'm gonna, this is because I was in back when you told this.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. So, when you learn as a child to hold things in, because they don't have all the protections they had, now they didn't have all that back then. You learn to compartmentalize like very, very efficient, very dysfunctional. So it's so much that I feel on the inside that my expressions will never let me show. So, without going into a long story, I didn't know if I could take the bar until 2 weeks before the bar.
Yeah.
So I was, it was in the winter time, so I would be in Midway and O'Hare studying for the bar on my little phone, burnt out my Wi-Fi card because it right. Because it was hard times, had to quit my job for legal reasons. And I didn't know if, sometimes you hear the cheesy movies and like, I had a moment, I knew I was gonna be resilient and da 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 da. That's not my life. It was just a matter of survival for me because I had lost so many jobs or been undercut in so many jobs or a possession charge. And this is happening at the same time that marijuana is being legalized, especially in Texas. And I'm like, ugh. But about to give me 5 years in prison. But as that happened, I wasn't thinking about resilience. But I think looking back, to me, I'm an all or nothing person. So if I'm a trick out of my life, and I'm keeping the words clean because my mom, yeah.
Yeah, Kristen.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I'm a trick out of my life, then I'm a trick it off. I'm out. Everybody knows me when I'm outside, I'm outside. I'm unapologetic. See me outside, hey, hands up, don't shoot. But when I realized I was gonna live my life, I look back and I think the thing, how I define resilience is keeping a piece of you. When you're dealing with people, as the war on drugs comes out, and a lot of my classmates at 48, at 50 who have done 20, 30 years, and now they're educated and got law degrees and things of that nature. These people are experts about keeping a part of you in. I did 14 months. You can't do time and keep hope and joy and all that kind of stuff. You have to learn how to bury it. And I think that's what kept me. I think that's my definition of resilience. Now it's turned on its head, and I have to go to therapy to learn how to be vulnerable. But yeah, that's it. And what was the second part of the question?
When is it okay to surrender?
Shit, when you have no choice. I'm so sorry, my aunt is here. And my mom is here. I think that's the whole premise of the book. I think that's why I want to be true to Candy.
You get that today.
Right. Especially, like this was a good volume, it's happy, I'm saying joy until the Pendergrass, but then the next chapters, it goes to some deeper places. And in that I had to learn how to surrender. Everybody who knows me knows I do not like, as much as I share, and people like, she just put all her business out the street. I really don't. Anybody who knows me knows I really carry a lot of oceans and floods and everything by myself. And I have to for my job. I have to because hurt people and people change. And it's not worth taking away the blessing that God has made them now for my petty bullshit from before. And surrender is hard for me. And so I'm one of those people, and that's what I'm trying to address in the book. And it's not about arguing with God for those of us who are Christian or being Baptist. It's not about standing up to God, but it is about being honest in the sense of surrender isn't easy. There are so many nights in my life where I was homeless. There are so many nights in my life where I got knocked out. I didn't know if I was going to be alive the next day. And so when you go ahead and have that type of resiliency that it takes to go ahead and make it to this place, the things that it's going to take to break that down, at least for me, were extreme. And that's where the book of brokenness comes from, where she knows, I do not go to church. And the fact that I found myself there, I think it was just, for me, it was a culmination of the events where I knew I was really tired. And I had to try, because if I was going to harm myself, if I was going to harm myself or do something to myself, and I grew up in the church, I had to at least give it a try, to know that I tried. So the people that love me know that I tried. And it didn't turn out to be opposite.
So just quickly, the bar story, real quick. So yeah, the bar story, real quick. Just so y'all know, like, she kind of dumbed it down, but for those of you all who are attorneys, y'all know what bar study is really like, right? When I say that Tiffany started bar study during her last semester, she had not gone through character and fitness, had not gotten anything from the bar. She submitted her application on faith, straight up. I am already familiar with the Barbary professors because I heard them, like the one professor that did, I think it was torts, and she did raps about Wu-Tang Clan for her, like, so that people could remember things. So it was, and now as a student, as a law student, it's even crazier to really be in that position and to see and to have like witnessed her do it. So she did the whole bar prep, went on ahead, continued to do it. 2 weeks before she goes in, has her interview, we finally go ahead and find out that she's gonna take the bar paper. So I'm in, this is during COVID, at this point it's now shut down, locked down for COVID when the bar results came out. She was the last class that took the regular bar exam before COVID. So, shut down. So I'm in the living room, I'm working from home. She's in her bedroom doing whatever she's doing. And she comes out of her bedroom and she says, "That's the bar, that's the bar." And so the people that know me in this room know, I'm jumping up and down, I'm screaming, I'm yelling. She has now walked away from me and went back to whatever it was that she was doing in the room. Because she was like, okay, now I'm done with that. Like, that is like her resilience. It amazes me. Sometimes it also irritates me because it's like, it's nasty. She just gonna keep on going, you're just not gonna leave that alone. But she won't. But yeah, like, when you talk about resilience for real, like, she can really speak to that, because when you know where she had to come back from, not come from, but come back from. Because in case y'all didn't know, she was already in law school when in her 20s, she was already at a highly accredited law school back then. But where she had to come back from, and for her to not give up, and for her to be sitting here in front of you all today, it is a testimony and resilience and faith, and probably a lesson in learning how to surrender to. Next question is, why now are you writing this book instead of years ago or years in